All right, all right. Happy New Year, you guys. Welcome to the team call, first team call of 2018. A little bit of a change up. Nicole Santer was going to be hosting our team call. You may or may not know that Nicole is branching her coaching business out into something greater than what it has originally been. And, I have to say that I am really excited for her. That means I've done my job, right? When people find their heart and find their passion and find their soul and they follow their dreams, then I feel like I've done my job. And I think that the whole transition that she's going through right now really ties in nicely with where we're at right now with today's team call, and what I want to tell you about what I've been doing for the last year in my business as we transition into this team call. So as many of you know, I have read The Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. It's an ongoing book that I read. It's called The Desire Map. Danielle, this is mirrored. So Danielle Laporte is Danielle, Laporte, Laporte. She has some incredible videos on YouTube. But she primarily helps people to recognize that, especially in the Desire Map, is that we don't just create goals, and we don't typically create a goal with the actual end in sight. Like, we don't actually want to achieve the goal. We want to achieve the feeling that achieving the goal evokes. So when we get down to feelings and tying our goals back to emotions and what we want to create in our lives as far as how we want to feel in our life, then our goals become so much more real, more tangible, and more stick-worthy, if you will. So this, again, falls in line with what I've been doing with my challengers for the last, I would say, probably 14 months. Clothes are already coming off because Steele can't handle a webinar without getting all stressed out and sweaty like. Yes, I still get nervous. But it comes down to how you want to feel. And when I started working with my clients on establishing goals with them that relate to how they want to feel, when I started doing one-on-one check-ins, when I started doing mindset work with them, I started seeing a different kind of change within them. And it became less about losing weight and more about helping people to change their lives, which is where a lot of my messaging comes from and is directed to in the way that I have been building my business, the way that I post on social media, who I'm talking to, why I'm talking to them, because I am recognizing my vision and my personal mission statement and what that looks like for me. So as you continue forward in 2018 in breaking into your business, which you can do at any stage of this journey, is to recognize what kind of impact you want to have. How do you want to feel in your life, in your business? How do you want others to feel through this process? Do you simply want to help them lose weight, connect them with the program, help them lose weight, just so they can, have a different outer shell and still be just as up and broken on the inside? What is the goal that we are trying to achieve when it comes to helping people to change their life? So obviously, the way that I speak is tied deeply to my core values and my mission and my vision. So yours may look very different from mine. And these are always intricately tied to our own personal journeys and our personal stories. So my goal with tonight's goal planning and vision and mission statement planning session is to help you to really create awareness in your life and establish intentionality, if you will, when it comes to your business. I'll never forget at the last Super Saturday that I was at in Calgary. Was it Melissa McAllister? It wasn't Melissa McAllister. Oh my gosh. My mind's drawing a blank, as I even had a conversation with her. You were there, Hannah. Damn it. I even had a conversation with her when we were at leadership. Yeah, Trina Gray. I had a conversation with her and just thanked her for being, I agree, she is amazing. And what she said was, I am working this business. She had a whole bunch of reasons in mind. And she said, but what I'm very aware of is that every time I sit down to work my business, I'm stealing time from my family and from my children. So when I sit down to work my business, I'm very intentional. You'll never find me scrolling social media aimlessly without a purpose, because I'm stealing time. I'm taking time from one area to put it into another area of my life. And I won't forget that. because I mean, Sean works away and I'm back doing this by myself. And there are days like today where I sit down and I work and I know my kids are playing happily. But as I sit behind my computer screen, they see me sit behind my computer screen, which is helping to build a future for them. But at the same time, it's taking time away from them. So I'm not going to be sitting here doing nothing. If I'm sitting here behind my computer, my actions are very intentional and I'm building with purpose. So again, something to keep in mind as you are working or breaking into your business is remember to be intentional. You know, and I know that there's so much to learn and there are times that you will hesitate. You know, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And sometimes you get lost in this sea of shoulds. And, you know, again, this is something that I'll be speaking about at Super Saturday via live stream to Calgary this weekend is, hold on, we've got some people not muted. It's just I can't remember now. What was I going to say? Hang tight. Oh, all the different shoulds that you have going on in your life, especially as we break into the new year, where you have people doing all kinds of challenges, left, right, and center, and everybody's doing this or that, and it can be really overwhelming. It can be really daunting to look around and think that I need to be doing all these things. And as a result, you're everywhere and nowhere at the same time, and you're taking no action. So I want to leave you with this before we jump into the call. You do not need to do what they are doing. You do not need to be where they are. The reality is that your business is your business for a reason. You are you, and no one else can be you or duplicate you, nor can you be or duplicate anyone else. So while it's great to look around and see all the shiny things and the ways that other people are breaking into their businesses, it's super important that you find something that you are passionate about, you implement that, and you rock the shit out of that. Clear? Okay? I'm not going to be out there doing some fun foodie fitness, fashion, whatever challenge because I don't cook. I don't like to cook. I don't like recipes. I like to keep it simple. Sally, I don't know. I don't like to say the word. That's on my kids. But I'll say in a heartbeat. I don't know. It's a bad word. Funny how that happens, right? Again, core values. Swear words aren't swear words. It's things like fat and stupid and dumb that are swear words in my house. Again, just the way that I live my life. But it's important that we stop looking around at all the different shiny things and that we take action because it's in that action and through that action in alignment with our core values and who we are, who we want to be, what our mission is, and what we'd like our vision to be as we break into our business. That is going to set us apart from everybody else and make those people become attracted to you because of who you are. Aw, thank you. You know, I'm 5 years into this in March, and I'm still learning this. But I can't even, just coming into the new year, and I started to get overwhelmed thinking of all the challenges that I need to run and all of this, and I'm like, wait, no, I don't need to. I don't. You know, it's all noise, and it just distracts me from what it is that I want to achieve with my people and give full effort and for full quality to them. I could be running 18 different challenges or whatever, but it's half-assed efforts, and I'm not giving quality to those people. So I want you to learn from my mistakes, or at least share with you what I've learned through this process is that you will have a tendency to feel like you should be doing X, Y, and Z. Pick the things that you want to do that are in alignment with your vision, your mission, your goal, your heart, your mind, and how you want to feel in this business, and do it, okay? Let me take one more sip. Oh, this is so good. Okay, now I my glasses on. There was a quote I wanted to read. I did want to share a video too. I just don't want to run out of time on my planning session. Maybe I'll start a little bit of it. You're not chasing the goal. You're chasing a feeling you hope reaching the goal will give you. What if first we got clear on how we actually wanted to feel in our life, and then we set our intentions? What if your core desired feelings consciously informed how you plan your day, your year, and your life? Pretty awesome. You will do much less proving and way more living, and you will have much more to give to the world. So that is part of the opening of the Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. Everything we do is driven by the desire to feel a certain way. So while I jump into this video that I want to share with you, probably only going to share the first 4 minutes or so. Again, this is Mel Robbins. If you aren't familiar with her, God, she's incredible. She was our keynote speaker at Summit. I want to say Summit, or was it Leadership? It was at Leadership. She was the keynote speaker at my leadership event in, was it Leadership? I feel like it was in Vegas a couple months ago. There's so many sessions I've been to, I can't remember. So I'm going to play this with you. If you haven't listened to her, she is the author of the 5-second rule, and she kind of talks about it here in the beginning.
Alida?
Yeah.
I'm not getting any sound, most of us.
You have none?
No.
Any better? Well, that sucks. Well, that sucks that a lot of you can't hear. I'll keep sharing. Let me just open this back up. There. Thank you for unmuting yourself and telling me. I could see that there was stuff in the chat, but I can't open this. I gotta stop share. Okay, so the part that I stopped in this video earlier today when I was getting ready for our call was where she talks about the difference between where she broke that habit was the hesitation. A lot of times you listen to a call, you watch a seminar, you learn something, and you have these ideas in your mind. Come here, honey. You have these ideas in your mind, and they're genius, they're brilliant, and you think, oh, I should do this, oh, I could do this. And then you want to watch the bear show? Okay, you'll have to wait for a few minutes. Okay, mommy, come and help you in a few minutes. Okay. What happens is that we take all these ideas away from us. So somebody told me once before when I went to Coach Summit, the worst thing you could ever do is to book a holiday after Coach Summit. You know why? Because you don't implement. Everything you just learned becomes stagnant and stale. It sits there and nothing gets done about it. And by the time you're ready to actually do something about it, you've hesitated so long that you don't know where to start or how to begin to implement. So Mel Robbins in that video talks about hesitation. The simple difference between doing something and not doing something is action, and the hesitation. She said the only difference is that I stopped and I got into my head for a minute. And as soon as you stop and you hesitate, your brain sends a hormone trigger into fight or flight, and it wants to run. So it takes it from the frontal cortex, and it moves your thought process off to the side, and instantly you get into your head and you stop taking action. One of the, it is true, but if you counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it literally takes from your brain, from the cortex, from one area to the other, and you just do it. The way that she did this talk, I should see if I can find the talk that she did at Leadership. It was pretty mind-blowing. But just like one of those things. So I urge you to take action. You know, I had a conversation with some of you, or one of you in particular, about the National Wake Up Call and how you listen to the National Wake Up Call and you hear all these brilliant ideas and all these things. But sometimes there's so many ideas and so many things, just like that, oh my gosh, it's a new year, everybody's doing this challenge, that challenge, I should do sugar detox, 3-day refresh, 80-day, and there's all these things. So instead of doing anything, you do nothing, right? But nothing gets you nowhere. So I want you to identify, be able to identify, cognitively identify the one thing that speaks to you, that clearly resonates with you and evokes some form of emotion in you. Take that and rock it. You don't need to do all the things. How I get overwhelmed listening to the National Wake Up Call, and I went on a hiatus at one point. I stopped listening to corporate calls. I stopped attending training sessions. I stopped because I wasn't strong enough to be able to identify that I needed to pick that one thing and rock it. I felt the pressure that I needed to do all the things. And as a result, I did nothing. See that in my business as a result. Okay? So I want to jump into my presentation that I made for tonight. And I want you to take action. Like after we do this, unless you're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, which I know some of you are, I want you to take action. If you don't take action during this session, then I want you to take action immediately afterwards. But for the most part, some of us are going, most of us, I hope, will be writing as we are doing this exercise. All right. So it's one thing to let go of 2017 and say, I want to forget about it and start fresh and start new. But by doing that, you're not taking any learning experiences from it. So I want you to take a minute. I have a pad and paper. I just don't know if I can actually write on it with this little one on me. What did you like about 2017? What did you dislike about 2017? And I want you to break it into different areas of your life. Things like in your, whoa, I spelled that wrong. Personal life, financial life, your fitness life, your business life. What were some of your goals, your wins, your losses? Like, just the things stand out as like the biggest, most epic fail of your life in 2017, or the biggest, most successful gain or win. I know for me personally, things like achieving the 80-day obsession, finishing that, completing that, that was a major win for me. Being able to close out 2017 and say, I haven't had a drop of wine in 150 some odd days. Knowing that that's my vice, that's my go-to when I'm hurting, when I'm struggling. What were some of the fails, the face plants, the things you struggled with? I want you to really take time to become aware of those things so that you can take your learning experiences from those. They're not regrets, they're not mistakes, they're opportunities to learn and grow. That's what I feel like, that's what coaching, that's what this journey is all about, is learning about who you are and who you want to become, right? So what things would you like to change from 2017? What things would you like to carry through to 2018? And then write everything down. Take some time, maybe after the call. This is like the longest section because I do want to get into the nitty gritty of the call. But what was it like to be you in 2017? If you could literally write out, say, 5 pages and somebody could read in a nutshell, Alicia in 2017, what were the most important parts? I want you to have like a little book, a little story of 2017. The highs, the lows, the messy parts. What was it like to be you in 2017? And it doesn't have to be related to coaching or fitness or whatever. It's your life. This is just one part of your life. This is in your life. If this is your life, then we really need to start looking at your goals while we go through this. There have been times that coaching is my life. And as a result, I feel empty and devoid of meaning and purpose, which is one of the reasons that goal planning is so critical in your business and your life. So again, I want to begin with an attitude of gratitude. Instead of looking all the things that you don't want from 2017, what are the things that you're thankful for? When we take our energy and we focus on all of the negative things, or we focus on, when people are setting goals for 2018, some of your clients even, a lot of times they'll start focusing on the things that they don't want. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to walk out of a ginger crying. So instead of looking at the negative things, negative promotes negative, positive promotes positive, and it's like a magnetic force, right? What are the things that you do want? I want to walk out of a change room smiling with pride. I want to cry tears of joy when I walk out of the change room. I want to keep up with my children when we're running around. I want to feel sex in the nude in front of my partner. Okay, so it's simply a perspective shift, a lens shift, and it can be it can be a make or break in the grand scheme of your life, not just goal planning, but making a conscious effort to pay attention to the ways in which you think, the ways in which you speak, because they become your life.
No.
All right. Moving on. Oh, we have a new baby. Marlene's on, and her baby's like, oh my gosh, not even a week old. Wait, I'm unmuting you. Just a minute. Where'd you go? I lost you.
Oh, right here. Yeah, she was born yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Where are you?
from the hospital today.
Unbelievable. Her little face, like that picture that you posted, everybody says babies don't smile, it's a poop grin. I don't know, man. Your baby's like a day old, and I feel like I looked at her and she was the most adorable little thing I've ever seen. Ah!
Oh,
Wow.
you want to have more babies.
It totally does. It totally does. Wow. That is inspiring. Yeah. On top of it is that you're home with your baby, 1 day old, and you're listening to the team call. I'd love to talk to you in 3 months from now when she isn't sleeping all the time. Just kidding.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Not really. Don't wake the sleeping baby. Oh, I just saw when I was scrolling through the pictures on the side, because I can only see 4 people at a time. So I was trying to scroll through and see who's on the... What? Did you see the baby? Right there. Baby. Brand new baby. Congratulations, Marlene.
Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, I think I got a little bit excited there for a minute. Okay. So these are the sections that I want to work to break into for the purpose of our goal planning, vision, mission, just the areas of focus. And we're going to do them one at a time. From health to love to work and fun. Love as in relationships in general. So when it comes to your health, what did 2017 look like for you? You can jot down a few key words, something that'll help you to remember to come back to this. And I will share, where did you put my pen, honey? I will share these so that you can come back to them, but you know, those first instincts, again, we don't want to hesitate when we're thinking about these things because they're guttural reactions, you know. And they could, the words that you use right now to describe this area of your life could also be tied to how you're feeling in the intimacy of being so close to your goal setting for 2018, the fact that you're starting a refresh, you took your before photos, you're feeling like that. So we can try to distance those emotions as much as possible. But the reality is that the way that we feel in specific moments in time can change from hour to hour, minute to minute, day to day, week to week. We know this. As somebody who's batshit crazy, this can change from 1 to 100 in literally 3 seconds. Okay, not really, but kind of. So what are those keywords? I need to get my own pen because what did 2017 look like for you when it comes to your health? Can you take that into mommy's bed? Yeah. Again, this is something that you can always come back to. I really do want you to take it seriously, and especially if you've never done this before, it really helps you to shape the way that, again, that I said in there, is the way that you plan your day and your week and your month, and the whole focus that you bring to your challenge group and to the way that you post on social media. It's really intricately tied. So I mean, obviously make sure to identify things that are both positive and not so positive that you can work from toward, and find the highlights. What were the amazing parts and the not so amazing parts? And be real with yourself. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, or if you want to use the empty to full for your tank, I want you to assess how full your health tank was in 2017 as a whole. Give it a ranking, 1 being empty, 10 being full, or you can draw out the little scale and identify at the end of 2017 as a whole what you can rate for your health life. Keeping in mind that we are always our biggest critics. Everybody's got something down for this? I can't see the chat when I've got this open, so I'm going to hope so. A-okay, and we're moving on. All right. This one can sometimes be emotional for people, like the other one can be. When it comes to love or your relationships, love life, your friendships, and your family, what did 2017 look like for you? Did you love? And did you feel loved? Did you feel connection with friends, with your partner, with your family? Was there strain? Was there lack of time, effort, energy? Maybe you became aware of something like a toxic person and you made a decision to change the way that that relationship played out for yourself or for others. Did you take time to build and nurture relationships that were important to you? If not, I want you to write down the names of the people that you feel that you lack connection with currently in your life, who you want to have connection with currently in your life. If you made a conscious choice to change a relationship with someone because you no longer want them in your life in the same capacity as previously, then obviously leave them out. What were some of the most challenging moments in those relationships? Maybe some of the hardest conversations that you had to have with someone, with more than one person. I think it's really interesting how my goals have changed over the years and how much deeper they get the more I learn who I am and the kind of difference and the kind of impact that I want to have on people and in my life. In fact, I posted this, I made this presentation today, and obviously I didn't come up with it from scratch. I used other tools and resources to come up with content, and I thought, this isn't specific to coaches. So I've chosen to actually post it in my accountability group, and I'm going to be hosting a live Zoom with my clients and challengers on Thursday to do this with them. Because again, in line with my mission and my vision for where I want to be, 5 years from now, this ties in. I want to empower women to learn who they are, who they want to become, and to help them to break into who they want to be. And this is just one of the vehicles that I'm using: fitness and nutrition, personal development, and self-awareness. And it makes me feel whole. It makes me feel like I'm not just helping people lose weight. I'm helping people to change their life, literally change their life. And when you get messages from people saying like, I chose not to kill myself or to do XYZ because you came into my life, and that is a very real message that I received, that matters. That person's not even a client. You know that? Just somebody who follows me on social media. That's a pretty wicked difference to make. I'm really glad they told me. Who's drawing on my screen? I've done that before, actually. Can you see it? I totally did it before, but I didn't think anybody else could see it. But now I know. That's so funny. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being empty, 10 being full, or using your E to F tank, assess how full your relationship tank was in 2017. You may need to break this out based on maybe some people that you identified, your relationship with your spouse. I mean, you could take this as far as you want. Your relationship with your spouse could be way more full because you've spent time focusing on that. And as a result, maybe your friendships feel less, or your time with your kids feels less because you've been focusing on building your business, or because you've been scrolling aimlessly and not doing intentional actions with your business. You know, when people say, oh, I spend way too much time on Facebook, then I call bullshit, because that means that you're spending time doing things that aren't important. You know, if I'm working a full-time business and I'm spending less time than you on Facebook, then there's a problem, right? We're building the same kind of business. Mine's, 5 years in, we need to really focus on the actions and the intentional things that you're doing and whether they matter. Maybe you're doing something that doesn't matter at all. Maybe you need to stop doing things. Maybe you need to start doing other things. For some people, it's, they love tracking. They love putting names into Streak or names into whatever, Teamsy. Other people, they hate it. They feel like it's a job. It's a work. It's effort. People who feel like it's work and effort, but they still hit Success Club 10 or 5 or continue to build an income without tracking, then why are you tracking? If you hate it and you haven't been doing it and you feel like you need to be doing it all the time and you're just putting that pressure on yourself, then stop doing it. Don't do it. Nobody's telling you need to do something. They're saying this is a tip or a tool to help you build your business. There's no blueprint. It's all just tips and tools and suggestions. Amy Silverman will tell you that she's never tracked a day in her life. She hates it. She doesn't want to do it. And she's still, number 2 coach in the company. Maybe not this week. But you know what I mean? Like, just because it's there in front of you doesn't mean that it's the blueprint and the be-all, end-all. Okay? Nobody else defines what success looks like for you in this business. So I don't want you to think like, because your name isn't on the Success Club leaderboard or the volume leaderboard, or you're not a 2-star diamond or a 5-star diamond, that you're not successful in this business. Because what you define as success for you in this business is very different from what I define as success in this business for me personally. As far as I'm concerned, every single person who signs up to a coach has a reason why they signed up to be a coach, and has a mission of who they want to help and why they want to help them and how they're going to help them. So success is only defined by you. So when somebody messages me and says, I'm so sorry I let you down. They're not letting me down. I'm not your boss. I'm just here doing the same business alongside you. I'm just a couple more laps around. I'm just sharing what's worked for me, right? Nobody's letting me down. I'm here to cheer you on along the way and share what's worked for me. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're successful or you're not successful based on some bogus stipulation, some number, some statistics, some title, okay? This is about you and what you want to achieve with your coaching business. I hope that that's clear and that you remember that as you go into 2018, okay? That there are many people who have never had a name on a leaderboard, and that doesn't mean that they're not a good coach, okay? That number doesn't define you, just like a number on a scale doesn't define who you are and what your heart is and your purpose in this life. All right, now we're going to transition over to work. And this can also be things like courses if you're a student. I tried to make it like stay-at-home mom. If you're a stay-at-home mom, what would that look like? But for the purpose of this, I want you to think about anything that you're doing right now that you hope that will lead to an income, or that is already leading to income. So, going to school to get a job, bring in an income. I need you and your sister down in your room right now. Okay, then you need to come and give me my kiss. I'll come down and say a proper goodnight when I'm finished. Okay, I love you. Keelan, you stay upstairs with Mom. Come and bring me your latchboard. All right. So when it comes to your work, what did 2017 look like for you? Again, anything that makes you money or that you hope that will make you money. What are the highlights from 2017? Do you have some major, incredible moments? Some of those moments where you felt really good in your work. Work, again, is coaching, where you spoke on a team call. Maybe you did your first live video. Maybe you did your first your first push-up and from your toes, and you took a picture and you shared it with your clients. Maybe you ran your first successful challenge group. Maybe you spoke on stage at Summit or were asked to speak on the I Am Team Beachbody podcast. Maybe you finished a program. Whatever. What is the coolest thing that you did with your work this year? No, you do not go downstairs. You come and do with mommy. Do you want to play smush-a-bug? No. You want to play smush-a-bug? No. Okay. And what were some of the lowest moments, especially as we close out the year in coaching world? You know, for me, having been an elite coach before, in 2015, our team was an elite team. At the end of the year, I can sometimes notice days like the last Thursday before the end of the year was like the last day that you could lock in your rank. Sometimes subconsciously, I'm really bitchy that day, even though I wasn't aiming to hit that goal and be elite again. We hit elite almost by fluke. We just kept our eyes on a few things and it just naturally happened, which is pretty cool. But I wasn't pushing for this goal, but sometimes it comes and goes, and where you hit this major milestone in your business and now you're not hitting that milestone in your business, it's natural to feel like a failure. Or if you didn't make as much money as this year, or you didn't make as much influence, or you didn't XYZ in your business, in your work, you didn't feel as fulfilled. It's natural for us to sometimes start the year on a low note, and you can be really emotional. So instead of looking at that and just focusing so much on those things, you kind of have to weigh them out and focus on the high points and the coolest points. And as we continue to focus on planning for 2018, we can learn from those experiences and those moments that are standing out as really strong, either in success or failure, if you want to label them as such, and build them into your 2018 goal planning. So on a scale of 1 to 10 or empty to full, I'd like you to assess how full your work tank was in 2017. A couple of you may have to do a couple breakouts if you have a couple full-time or a couple part-time jobs. And you can always go back and add in parenting in this, do its very own section for parenting. I know for me, that's something that I'm going to do, is break it out into its own separate. I don't want to include it in my relationships. I think I'll probably do one with my husband and then my social life, like my friends, and then I'll also do one for my children. And maybe even one for my immediate family, like my parents and my brother. And the last one, before we go into the next section of the call. When it comes to fun in your life, joy, laughter, and fun, what did 2017 look like for you? This includes your hobbies, any downtime that you had, maybe didn't have, creativity, and personal growth. What are your highlights from 2017? The things that you remember as being like super amazing. Does anything stand out? You may need to jog your memory with a partner or with someone when you go through this process. My mind's been like spinning a million miles a minute since I made this presentation earlier today, and just thinking up like, hey, I guess it wasn't so shitty after all. But I mean, sometimes we have a tendency to do that, right? Especially if you're feeling like you're just having a bad day, or today was the day that Sean leaves, so I have a tendency to be a little bit more woe is me. But whatever. If you didn't have a lot of fun in 2017, why not? Own it. What stopped you? Who stopped you? Why didn't you have a lot of fun? When we can begin to identify these things, we can start kind of peeling back the layers and identifying areas for our next PD book. We're coming for you, Amazon. We're coming. For real though, it really is an exercise of personal development and areas that we want to work on as we venture into the next chapter of our story, right? So then on a scale of 1 to 10 or empty to full, I want you to assess how full your work tank was. Whoa, that should say fun tank. Clearly copy and pasted. Your fun tank was in 2017. You just pull them out, sweetheart. Pull. Help him. Help him take the needles out. All right. You can probably guess what our next section is going to be about. I can't help you, honey. Mommy's working. Pull it out. Yay. So in 2017, I learned that this is your opportunity to identify areas that you've learned, either through failures or successes, what you've learned about yourself. Consider things that you can learn from, like mistakes that you've made, choices you've made, actions or behaviors that you focused on or didn't focus on, maybe some takeaways from this call, maybe something I said about the way that you're spending time on social, or stealing time from your family so you can work, or stealing time from work so you can spend time with your family. You know, things that made you proud, things that make you feel good, things that make you feel not so proud, maybe not so good. What have you learned about yourself in 2017? These can be things that you hope to improve upon, identify as a benchmark. I love practice makes progress. That's oftentimes what I name some of my challenge groups, practice makes progress, because I firmly believe in practicing the process to progress and loving myself through that, even though it can be messy, the things that I learn about myself. The process to progress is messy, but that's where I learn who I am and how I can become better. So what does progress for you look like from where you were at in terms of, what were those 4 things? Health, fun, work, and love. And then you best believe we're going to bring on 2018. So then I chose this quote. I really liked it. The new year stands before us like a chapter in a book, waiting to be written. We can help write that story by setting goals and establishing vision and our mission. So very quickly, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, this is something that can take you weeks to craft on your own. And you may want to get the book, The Desire Map, to help you create your vision or mission statement. The two are very different, but they work together typically. This is all words. So words, feelings, words that you'd like to feel, they can be really helpful in creating a mission or a vision statement. Words that stand out for me, for my mission of what I am as a coach, and what gives me a reason for existence, a reason for doing what I do, is to create empowerment. That's like the be-all end-all word for me, is to empower women. And there's a whole lot of jargon that's going on in and around that as far as creating or crafting my mission. But when I think about my vision, is like, you know, people say, oh, you should have a podcast. Oh, you should be a motivational speaker. Oh, you should. Oh, you should. And I often wonder, like, where will I be 5 years from now? I will always be a coach. I will always be a coach helping people with their health and their fitness and their mindset. But what is my vision of my impact? You know, in order to effectively take action in 2018, having a mission and a vision in mind is critical. So a mission, what is your reason for existence as a person, as a coach, as a mom, as a wife? What drives you? What is your mission as a mom? What is your mission as a wife? What do you hope to achieve? What is your mission as a coach? What are you doing? You're not just helping people. We got to get way deeper than that. If you want to make this meaningful, if you want to make this last, If you want to make this into whatever your version of success is, you need to know what your mission is. Why are you doing it? Because in those times that you don't have a sale or there's nobody posting in my accountability group, this is the shit that matters. So what if somebody didn't post in your group today, or you didn't get 100% of your before and after photos? Did you help someone? Did someone fall in line with your mission? Did you get a message that fell in line with your mission? Are you staying true to your mission, your core values? What makes you tick? Or are you doing it for the sake? Are you empty? Are you a hamster in a wheel? Are you doing what you think you should be doing? Or are you doing it because you want to do it and you love it? Because you've identified your mission and you're doing things that fall within that. I can truly say I love what I do. Do I love everything about it? Do I love when people get pissed off and yell at me or their order gets met? No, I don't like some stuff about it, but I love what I do at the heart of it. And then a vision. What do you foresee as you continue doing what you're doing or planning to do in 2018? Think of your purpose, your values, and your goals in following through your mission. This is so deep, isn't it? Does it hurt your brain so late at night? Was anyone enjoying this at all? Learning something about themselves? Yeah? Good? Good. It's sometimes challenging. It can be really hard digging into some of this stuff, you know? I shouldn't be saying digging. I learned from a dear friend of mine who's on our team to be mindful with my words. And digging insinuates effort. When you're trying to dig into your goals for 2018, it makes it seem like it's full of effort and labor, laborious. If instead you use terms like peel back the layers so you can unveil what's already there. Isn't that a little bit different than digging, using a hammer or a tool to dig? Again, it comes down to your lens, your vision, your perspective. Allow the layers to peel back and unfold so that you can unveil what already exists. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? Anybody know? My special friend who teaches me all the wisdom of the world. Some of you talk to her regularly, I know this. I'm sure some of you have ideas. All right. In 2018, I plan to, and I love these two statements right here. Remember to focus on your health, love, fun, and work when we venture into these. And you may, again, have to go back if you've broken into those sections into different, more intricate sections like partner, spouse, children, whatever. What do you want to spend more time doing in relation to health?
I tried to be satisfied with what I had.
Apparently, Siri tried to be satisfied with what she had. Thank you for pushing that, Keelan. You're so cute. Bug, you need to be in bed. Where's your dad? Here, Bug. You go play in Bug. And what do you want to spend less time doing? If you can identify what those things are. Okay, I can finally see the chat. I will post this whole presentation, yeah. I have it saved as a slideshow so people can edit it and use it as their own. Like if you want to take this and use it with your clients, like I plan to do, you can certainly do that. I can make a version that you can edit. You may have to send me your email address to do that for sharing permission. And I will also share it as a PDF. You know I share everything. So what are you going to spend more time doing and less time doing? And then just like we did with our last section, this is literally it. There's the last 4 slides are all the same, and they're all dealing with those 4 sections. So when thinking about 2018 in terms of your health, what are your hopes and dreams for your health? Break that into 5 tangible goals. I mean, it could be like you want to run your first 5K, or you want to recognize your food sensitivities, Maybe you want to get off your anxiety medication. Maybe, I mean, health is mind, body, spirit, and healing, right? So what does health look like for you, and what are those top 5 goals when it comes to your health? And then going back to Danielle Laporte, of course, why are these important to you? They clearly will evoke some form of emotion for you. So how will achieving these goals make you feel? And you need to break that out for each one of the 5 that you've written out, what those 5 goals are. If it's getting off your diabetes medication, how will achieving that goal make you feel? If it's running your first 5K, how will that make you feel? If it's committing to your first program, how will that make you feel? Why? What is the goal? And to achieve this, you will need to, so this is action items. In order to do it, what do you need to do? In order to run that 5K, well, maybe you need to start training. Maybe you need to start lightly jogging. Maybe you need to have pelvic floor surgery because ain't nobody ever going to run a 5K again in my life. Just kidding, not really, kind of. When it comes to your love life, what are your hopes and dreams for your relationships? Again, you may need to break that out for your spouse, for your children, for your parents, for your friends. What are your top 5 goals when it comes to that? It's a good book, hey? She gets you really thinking about all this stuff. Top 5 goals, and why are they important to you? How will achieving these goals make you feel? I know that I have some things that are standing out real strong in black and white that I need to work on in my relationship. But I felt so tapped out in other areas of my life, which are now coming full circle because I have the ability to identify all of the different areas through my goal planning where I can do a little bit of give and take, where I can take a little bit from one pile and put it into another one so that some areas don't feel quite so empty, you know? In doing this exercise, those are the kinds of things that you're going to recognize as well, right? Like, were you working so hard at, you know, getting a promotion at work that you spent less time at home? So as a result, you skipped more workouts, you didn't eat healthy. Maybe you didn't spend nearly as much time with your partner. So maybe that means that you need to shift your focus at work and really take a good look at the things that you're doing at work so that you can get out of the office sooner, so that you can be more efficient in how you're spending your time. Or meal prep a little bit, you know, like all of these are tied together. Give a little less, take a little more, take a little less, give a little more, whatever that balance looks like for you. But in executing this exercise, if you will, the steps toward creating those changes become a little bit more manageable, realistic, maybe overwhelming, but at least you'll have it broken down into sections. I remember saying to somebody before, man, it feels like when I'm paying attention and I'm being the best freaking wife I can possibly be, I am a shitty mom. And I'm a shitty coach. And when I am the best freaking coach and I am on my A game and I am commenting like a mofo and I am on it, like my inbox isn't piled up, I am a wicked coach and my marriage is totally fucking tanking. Oh, yeah. Like that's how I feel all the time, right? So I feel like it's always this pendulum and it's like, it's always tipping. You can rock the crap out of one area and the rest of them feel they're just not measuring up. So my goal in starting the year is to kind of have like a clean slate, identify where your pendulum is at so we can work toward maybe instead of it being like freaking teeter-totter, that it's literally just kind of balancing back and forth like a top. I don't know. Yeah, my goal is to have less teeter and totter and a little bit more just feeling like it might fall off the top here. Mediocrity in every area of your life is not a good feeling. So if we can kind of find the even keel among all of those little areas of our life, and occasionally rock the shit out of one over another and not tank the rest of them at the same time, I think we're in a good position, no? I used to laugh and still sometimes do, especially when I'm super overwhelmed, that people say, oh, you'll find balance in coaching. And I was like, it's not true. It's bullshit. And you never will. It's always going to be a struggle. It's always going to be the balancing game, But I believe that through this process, you can find it. This is the biggest goal planning year that I've ever established, and the most intricate and the most complete as far as my life goes, not just focusing on business goals and coaching goals, and like, this is life. And I feel really good about this start of the year. So we're going to do the same for work, your hopes and dreams for your work, your top 5 goals, why they're important, and what you need to do. And then the same thing for your fun. What are your hopes and dreams when it comes to your hobbies, activities, and downtime? Your top 5 goals for your fun life, your top 5 goals for your work life. What does all of this look like for you? And I guess my hope is that you have a more clear vision of what the year is going to look like, so that, for example, when your husband comes home and he's only home for one day, you don't care if you're unplugged for the entire day, that you don't answer a single message. Because in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. It's not life or death. What matters is that I take that time to nurture the relationship with my husband. That matters most. Right? When you're sick, you need to listen to your body. You need to take care of your body. When your kids need you, you need to be there for them. You know, I'm all for balls to the wall, you know, be tenacious and have grit and show up. Don't you ever miss a team call. I never missed a team call in the first 3 years of my business. You know, but at the same time, if it means that you're going to have like World War III in your marriage and your kids have dirt between their eyeballs, I don't know, whatever that means for you, maybe it means having a conversation saying, honey, every Tuesday at this time, I need 1 hour. You know, maybe it looks like, you know, those kinds of things, but that's up to you. And it's up to you to stay in line with your vision, your mission, and your core values. I always think to myself when I get super stressed out, like, oh my God, I have X number of messages in my inbox. And I'm like, is anybody going to die? Is anybody going to die? Is my life, is my job life or death? No. Then why are you so consumed in worrying about what's in your inbox and not spending this 1 hour on the ice with your kids? 1 hour. Be present in this moment, because nobody's going to die. Maybe your kids will if you don't pay attention to them and they fall on the ice though. Right? Like, perspective. Try to be present in your moments and become intentional. So I want to leave you with this. Only you can write your story. More than anything, I want you to stay true to your mission, your vision. It may take tweaking. It may need some reworking. You may need to pick up and just keep going as you learn, as you implement, and as you assess. But at the end of the day, you do you. Don't apologize for it. Be the best version of you that you possibly can. That's really all I have as we start the new year. A little bit overtime, but I feel really good in the direction of 2018. And if anybody wants to kind of ponder over that, if you want to, we could always have other kinds of calls as we progress into the year. I know there are sometimes people want to, you're welcome. Sometimes people want to say like, hey, Alida, I want to have a little session with a couple of my coaches. Are you available to come? And, you know, if you want me to make a little appearance with your team for something, I'm happy to help out in that capacity. If you want me to, I don't know, help you establish the steps that you could take, need to take, want to take in order to build your business to 2-star diamond. You know, what does that look like? How can we reverse engineer that? Like, I can help you establish those steps. Like, what are the steps that you want to take or need to take to get there? Or, you know, if you're just sitting on something and you're wondering if it matters or if it doesn't matter and you need validation or justification from your coach or from me, yeah, like exercises like this. Or there are times that I often think like doing a bi-weekly new coach call. So any coach who's added to the team within that 2-week period gets a new coach call, and we talk about the same kinds of things. And you guys can give me the feedback saying like, you know, when I started, I really wish I would have known X, Y, Z. So I can do a call every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks to welcome the new coaches and talk about some fundamentals, which obviously it depends on what they want out of this business. But, you know, I'm very open to learning and tweaking the whole team and the whole approach as we go into a new year, so that we can all learn and grow together. Let me just have the teeter-totter. Yeah, anyways, I hope that tonight was valuable for you. I will get the replay posted as soon as possible, as well as the slides. And then I hope that everybody, or most of you, are heading to a Super Saturday near you. I will be, they're no longer flying me out to Calgary. My flights were astronomical. So I will be heading to Toronto and there for that event, and then sneaking off to a little room so they can Zoom live me in, so I can be the guest speaker via Zoom in Calgary. So we'll do that. But if you don't know where your Super Saturday is, you can always check the FAQ. These events like this, it really is the energy that comes from them and the little takeaways that you implement right away. As soon as you can, implement. And you know what? You can be doing your Insta stories or your Facebook stories right from there. It's events like these, the hype and if you've been to Super Saturday and never gone live during the workout, I encourage you to do it. That's always my excuse, is to take photos of my team or go live because the workout's actually really hard and I'm trying to catch my breath and take a break. Really great opportunity to go live and build up the hype, the coaching opportunity, and the experience. Melissa, don't you even say anything because you already knew my secret from the last one. Anyways, I'm sad that I won't be seeing some of you, especially those of you who booked flights to see me or hope to see me. I'm sorry. I'm going to get emotional. It would have been a first. Yeah. But I'm also excited to see a couple of you on here in Toronto. So blow up the team page with photos, take those photos, and let's see you rocking out our first Super Saturday of the year. Good night, you guys.